Hi everyone, it's Mark here again at the Arts and Culture Network. This is the best bit of the job for me. This is my last meeting of the week and it's a lovely way to finish my week. I'm with Sidrah Hakim, and Sidrah is one of our full members and a Soulscape artist. I love the way that she describes herself like that. Sidrah, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Mark. I'm so happy to be here. I am delighted to be a full member as well of the Arts and Culture Network. I mean, Vincent spoke very highly about it. So I did not hesitate. I just went for it.
That's very kind. We're entirely member funded, so your membership is very much appreciated. And Vincent is doing a fantastic job flying the flag for us. So
He's
we're going to have some fun today to introduce you to our members by creating your fantasy cultural year, which will be fun. But before I do that, perhaps you'd like to say hello to everyone. Tell us where you're based and the work that you're doing. And if there's, I should probably get your work up as well. So I'll do that at the same time. So tell us a little, shall I go to Wrigglingworm Studio?
Yes, that's my website, wrigglingwormstudio.com. And you'll find, I think, the most, at least the paintings that I personally like are put up. So I'm sure you'll find some.
Okay, well, I'll open that up in a minute for people to have a look at. But meanwhile, tell us a little bit more about the Sidrah story.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I am Sidrah. I'm an artist born and raised in India, a little bit of Africa. And I have been painting since the age of 16. I did take up some classes from a very senior artist in India. And he made me sketch and sketch and sketch for 3 whole years. And I would beg him every day, can I paint? Can I paint? Can I paint? He would say no. And I think because of my persistent nature, after the end, I think somewhere around the end of 3rd year, he said, okay, you can paint. And I chose to paint a landscape in an oil painting. And that was a very tough decision because nobody jumps into an oil painting to begin with in their life. And I think when I reflect back in my age and time, I think I chose that subconsciously because I like to walk a path that is filled with challenges. And it's at this age I realize that I am more of a spiritual person, not religious at all, highly spiritual. And my entire journey has been walking on a path of spirituality. But I would not call myself a spiritual artist because all my paintings range from landscape to seascape to an abstract to fantasy art to spiritual art to anything that I feel. And I have always painted something that I get attracted to in a particular phase in life. So we all go through a lot of ups and downs and emotional roller coaster rides in life. And I think I've lived a decent, long enough life to go through many phases in my life. And at that point, something calls, it could be an abstract painting calls me because at that point I go through a lot of chaos in the brain, and then I mix all the colors and the geometric design of it, and I put it together, and I begin any painting with what I'm going through and the beginning of that process of understanding my situation. And it takes me a long time sometimes to finish the painting. And through the entire process, I think I kind of reason out the mess that I am trying to resolve. And at the end of the painting, I have reached a certain level of peace or certain level of understanding about the situation. It could be like, okay, I can't do anything about it. Or it could be, okay, accept it and find peace with it. And that's when I sign off on my painting. That means it's done. The painting is done and it's done in my mind. My mind is done with the situation as well. So that is how I have progressed throughout my entire art career or the process of painting. And I have realized it now in the past couple of years. Okay, so this is what I'm all about with my painting. And when I reflect at each and every painting of mine has a very deep meaning because the colors I use are very deep. They can attract a human mind because of the depth and the fusion of colors that I use usually, bring up a certain emotion in a human mind. And my intention is always to bring about a certain level of peace or calm in a human, anybody who looks at it. It could be a child, it could be an adult, it could be a middle-aged person, it could be an old man or a lady. So I think that's where my soul comes from. And having processed this entire thought and a little bit of brainstorming with Vincent Meselier, he said, yeah. And I said, Vincent, do you think I'm a soulscape artist? He said, yes, I would. I like the sound of it. And it could be, because he was the first person to point out that from when I look at your paintings, you seem like an extremely spiritual person. And I said, yes, I am. I cannot be put into a bracket of any religion. As a religious person, I'm born in a Hindu family, but I married a Muslim. So I've seen a lot of different religions. As a child, I was in Zimbabwe, so I've seen Christianity. I like spirituality.
What's that lovely saying by Ricky Gervais, the
Yeah.
comedian? He said, there are 2,000 recognized gods in the world. I just believe in one less than you do.
Yes.
It's clever. That was a wonderful introduction. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
It's clear from the way that you talk about the work that there is foundational and fundamental and background thinking and emotion that goes in the process before a brush hits a canvas, and that comes out in the work. You can tell that it's comprehensively thought through, and it has that depth as a result of that. Shall we have a look then at some?
Yes, we
Let's
can.
do that. So I'm going to
Yes.
share my screen so that our viewers can have a look. So sharing the screen, there we go. There, here we go. This is the website. So if you'd like to see Sidrah's website, go to wrigglingwormstudio.com. Where would you like me to go? Where shall I go first?
You can start with this one, or this one. These are my favorite paintings in my life. They have a lot of emotional, I've invested a lot in it emotionally, so you can click on any.
This is lovely. There's just enough detail in there to bring it out, but I love that focal point. That's really beautiful, because I was watching a television program yesterday about Turner, J.M. Turner, and his approach. Crazy things like he would mix beeswax with the paint, with the oils, because it made the paint go further. But he would use that kind of, he often had that flash of brilliance at some point in the picture, with everything else looking quite muted and quite almost impressionist. And that's beautiful. I love that. I'm not sure if I can click to the next one. There we go. Yeah, that's lovely. That's reminiscent of the Olympic rings.
Yeah.
In that, it's great. No, that's lovely. The way that those colors merge into each other. That's beautiful. And then this is great as well. There's something rather wonderful about the wing shapes here, that you've captured in different.
I had painted this in 1997.
Okay.
All my paintings that I have my paintings are pre-2000 and post-2000. So all the ones that I have before 2000, in my website, it's out of stock, but in reality, they are still with me. They are just packed and kept. And my family says that probably after I die, they will sell it for millions. Or someday when I become famous, then that's when we bring out the old paintings.
Brilliant.
So either they are waiting for me to die or just that I become famous. I don't know which one. So with every painting, I have a certain description about what I went through, about that painting and what made me paint that. And I have a habit of jotting down my emotions at that point. And at the end of the painting, I then compress it into a short version of what I went through and describe that painting.
Yeah, this one, that's beautiful as well. So these are the seascapes here.
Yes.
We'll have a quick tour through so that people can get a sense of it. Then you have snowscapes.
I believe, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this painting is lost. I had sent it for an exhibition with a gallery in the UK, and they've lost it now.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a real shame.
Yeah, it's a shame.
That's horrible.
They don't want to respond to me anymore. They have
No.
ignored me and blocked me in their contact list. So maybe I'll remove it from my website.
And then some landscapes here.
I personally am attracted to a lot of landscapes.
Mm.
There's a calling to it. It just calls me, but it depends on my emotions. So I venture towards seascapes and a lot of other subjects as well.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. This is oh, here's the birds,
The geese in flight.
the geese. Yeah, that's lovely.
So if anyone was to read about the name of the painting is something, but what I've written is about knowledge. So
Mm-hmm.
you know what I went through in that time? Like how do you quantify knowledge? And I have a small write-up. So it's on an emotional level, it's sometimes some of them are intense, most of them are from experiences of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who looks at it will have to have a lot of patience or will have to be an emotional person, have
Yeah.
emotional depth, a high EQ level to go through my paintings.
And
I
here
think
is
that is why I'm a soulscape artist. Like my soul speaks to other people's souls.
yeah, well, it absolutely does. It's the way that there's something in each of them that this is a lovely, a wonderful palette that's so rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I love that.
So I don't like to confine myself to any color.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever comes to me, I just
And I think people will resonate and respect a kind of spiritual origin from these without it necessarily being religious. There's a world of difference, obviously.
yes, there
Um,
is.
but yeah, these are all great. Thank you so much for letting us have a look through these. So these are at wrigglingwormstudio.com.
Yes.
And we will drop some of these. When I write the profile about you for our website,
Mhm.
I have the pleasure of choosing my favorite 6. So
Yes.
it'll be and it'll be interesting to see which I go for. Excellent.
Yeah. I think you like color.
I do. I do. I particularly like abstract because there's no right or wrong.
No,
And
absolutely.
it gives abstract for me, and especially pointillism, and
Mhm.
gives the viewer an opportunity to take part in the process of understanding the creativity that was behind it, because I can often see things in pointillist abstract pieces that weren't intended by the artist.
Yeah.
If it looks a little bit like a horse, it's probably meant to be a horse, but if it's an abstract, it's a different experience. It's really interesting. So thank you so much for showing us those. Those will
Thank
be all over the page wherever this interview appears. Now,
you.
I'd like
Thank
to
you.
have some fun, if that's okay.
Yes.
I'm going to take you on a whirlwind trip around the world for a study project.
Okay.
Okay. Now, in order to start this, I need to place you somewhere in the world. So I'm going to ask you, what's your favorite building, Sidrah?
Um, building. Does it have to be famous or does it have to be like
No, anywhere you like in the world.
uh I would say the Guggenheim,
Which one?
purely for the architecture of it.
In Bilbao?
Yes.
Right. For the benefit of those people who haven't seen it, here it is. There we go. It's beautiful, isn't it? I haven't been there, but I would love to.
It's beautiful. It is.
Look at it.
Yeah.
Stunning. It would have been so much easier not to do it like that because that must have been very difficult to both design and construct. But I love the fact that if it's a museum, it's got to work. Look at it.
Yeah, but Frank Gehry as an architect wouldn't be able to sleep at night if he had not done it this
Oh,
way.
Exactly that. So there you are now. Okay, this is a lovely start. So
Yeah.
I'd like you to imagine that you're sitting outside the Guggenheim in Bilbao at a cafe, and you're enjoying the view of the building, which is arguably more creative on the outside than it is on the inside. And you're sitting there in the sunshine in Bilbao, in northern Spain. It's 6 p.m. The sun is shining, and there is a book to your right. Now, that book can be your favorite book. It could be a book that saved your life. It could be a book that's been with you all your life, or it could be a book that you've discovered recently. What book might I find next to you?
I would, I read a lot of fiction. So I would probably have a fictional book with me, probably by an author called Rebecca Zanetti. She speaks about she mostly she wrote a series of books about what we went through during the corona, that in the future the humanity probably will be attacked by a virus that attacks the neuro part of the brain, and it kind of makes us, I wouldn't use the word zombies, but it does change a lot of the neurostructure of the brain, and it kills the empathy entirely.
Oh, my Lord, that sounds
Of
horrific.
Not of all the humans, only the ones who have a certain deficiency of vitamin C. So there's a study that, if you have a deficiency of vitamin C and D and some other combinations, those have a lower aptitude towards empathy, and those who are high in those vitamins have a high aptitude towards empathy. So the ones who are high survive, and they do get the virus, but they survive it. And then it's a fight. Humanity is gone. The modern society is gone as we know it, and how we restructure the entire society. So it would be one of those books.
Oh, fascinating. I love that. I might have to find that on Audible.
I can message it to you or email
That
it.
would be great. Excellent. And on the left of you is a drink. It's sunny, it's 6 o'clock. What drink would I find next to you?
I would love to say a glass of wine, but I don't drink alcohol. So I always get fascinated with, I love to look at the bottles of alcohol because the bottles are so artistically made, and the color of alcohol is so stimulating to the human mind. But I would have to say maybe coffee.
Coffee.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. So there's our scene. Bilbao, Guggenheim, sunshine, coffee, and the Rebecca book. There.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now you're feeling quite pleased with yourself because you've just come from a meeting inside the museum with a wealthy Spanish family foundation who like to fund research into certain areas of the arts and culture world. They've been attracted to you because of your soulscape approach and the fact that you are a spiritual artist in many ways, without having to align with any particular organized religion. So they've offered you a year's contract, okay, you to do some research around spiritual art that is not associated with organized religion. Okay. They'd like you to write a book. They'd like you to record a TV series. They'd like you to do a TED talk, and they'd like you to do a university lecture tour across Europe, Asia, and the United States afterwards. Okay. It's very well paid. It's first class all the way, expenses covered. All your personal admin at home is organized by a personal assistant. Your friends and family can come and visit. It sounds like the dream year.
Yeah.
Would you like to go?
Yes.
Good. So all you have to decide is what country would you like to start that research in?
It would have to be somewhere in Europe, because as you were speaking, it is something, it's a journey that I've already embarked on during COVID, since we were all at home. So I do have a YouTube channel, and it is called, it's under Wrigglingworm Studio once again, and it is called Journey of Art. So I have a very strong belief, and maybe the fantasy that you have put might can possibly turn into reality if somebody does find interest in it. So I do believe, very strongly believe that art from the beginning of time and the human mind, the way it has evolved, are interconnected, not in a particular region, but on the entire globe. And the only proof or evidence that we have today to show that the human mind the human brain has consistently developed at the same pace all over the world is by looking at the art all over the world. And if a certain particular art, let's say from the cave paintings, they are similar all over the world with the pigments that are used to create the paint, and the subjects of the art in the caves are the same. How the hell is that possible? If someone in Australia, the Aboriginals, have painted the same cave paintings, the subjects are the same, as similar to the Red Indians in the US, they did not have communication methods. Everything is the same. So that's how we have evolved. Similarly, there's a greater reason for it. So there is a spiritual meaning to it for me because it's all connected to art. And I believe the only proof or evidence is art. The rest is all hearsay. Yeah, they found the skulls, they found the brain, and they've compared the size of the brain and it has grown. That is all hearsay, and that is, but the real evidence is in the artwork.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. So where are we starting?
We start with Europe, maybe in France.
France. And where in France would you like to
In I would love to go to the Chauvet Caves in France.
Okay.
That's
And is that near a local city? Because I need to base you somewhere.
I don't know. I'll have to research where the Chauvet Caves are. I think it's close to maybe southern France, somewhere in that region. Chauez, Chauvet. I'm not good at pronouncing French words.
I think it's in where is it near? Oh, it's in the south of France.
South of France, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll put you in. I think we might have to base you in Nice. Okay.
Probably, yes.
In Nice, which
Yes.
is lovely. So you can travel up to the caves from there, and there'll be plenty of other things to do from Nice as well. So
Yeah, Monaco is not far from Nice.
yeah, Monaco. You can be in Monaco if you wish.
I wouldn't mind Monaco.
Okay, we'll put you in Monaco.
Since
So
I'm
you're
going
on
first
your
class.
you're on your way. You're in Germany now. You're on your way to Monaco, and you turned left on the aeroplane because you're traveling first class. And the steward comes to you with a coffee and a note. Now, the Wealthy Family Foundation in Spain want to experiment a little bit on you while you're doing this trip. So they'd like to understand the impact on you of limiting your musical listening to one very specific type of music. So if you had to listen to one very specific type of music, perhaps even one artist or group or band for 12 months to the exclusion of all else, what would you choose?
I would go with classical rock.
Classic rock.
Yes.
There we go.
Classic rock. Yeah, and my favorite band is U2, so I wouldn't mind listening to U2.
Okay. Yeah. Joshua Tree.
Yes.
You can have that. So that's great. Now you arrive in excuse me, in Monaco. There's a group of young people who are art fans and artists and art collectors. And they welcome you and they pop you in a limousine, and you've been given an apartment at the top of a block overlooking the marina where they have the Grand Prix.
Yes.
And so that's where you're going to be based. You've got staff, you've got a car and a driver and a helicopter if you need it. Okay. So subject to sustainability, obviously, but
yes.
And they say to you, listen, we're going to let you settle down, unpack, and relax. We're going to come back later. We're taking you to a dance show, and then we're going to take you out to dinner. Now, I have a magic wand, so I can make anything happen on that stage I like.
Okay.
So you can have any dancer, living or not. You can have any dance group, any dance style. It doesn't have to be monegasque. Is it monegasque? I think is the phrase. Or French or Italian. It doesn't have to be. It can be anything you like. What dance performance would you like to see on the
Honestly, my all-time favorite has always been, this might sound a little weird, but it has always been The Lion King. I saw it in the UK many years ago, maybe a decade ago, and it has just stuck with me. I was with my children, so maybe somewhere on an emotional level, it was a special moment for me. So I've always enjoyed the Lion King show.
It's a great show, isn't it? Wonderful. And there's some wonderful dancing in that. So we'll have the dance segments from Lion King. That's great. What about dinner? Now you're going out to dinner, and Monaco has got some wonderful restaurants in it. So what national cuisine would you enjoy? What country's food do you enjoy the most?
Probably I would just have a steak, a good steak.
Shall we find you an Argentinian restaurant?
Yes, why not?
There we go.
I've had Argentinian steak. It's delicious.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, the next day in Monaco is sport day around the rest of France and Italy as well. Some of us believe sport is a performance art. We had breakdancing in the Olympics earlier this year. So what sport would you enjoy watching?
Always Formula.
Formula One.
Yes, my younger son was with the Formula F4 team. He was aspiring to become a Formula One race driver. And this year he just finished his season. He was with the Spanish F4. So
Wow.
I have been connected with the Formula sport since he was 13, I think. Yeah,
Wow.
12.
Well, you're in the right place.
That's the reason why I'm in Germany, because he chose to train in Germany and participate in the sport because all the Germans have the best, he had the best coach and,
That's
and the
great. And
best.
now you're in Monaco and it's
Yeah.
May. So
Yeah.
we've had the film festival and now we're going to have the Grand Prix.
Yes. So it's fun. This is going to a
Fantastic.
very good
Yeah.
place.
And your son's flying in to watch it with you from the balcony of your apartment, which is over the finish line.
Oh, he will just, he can kick me to the side if he wants, and he'll be watching it like a hawk.
Brilliant. Now in Monaco, in my fantasy world, there is a new digitally enhanced gallery, and you can put on virtual reality glasses and you can step into the work of famous artists and walk around. And everything's moving. It's 360 degrees, three-dimensional. Which famous artists' work would you like to step into in those circumstances?
Definitely Monet.
Monet, beautiful. Monet's garden.
I'm maybe because or maybe his paintings appeal to my soul. So I feel a lot of emotional intensity with his paintings and, like a soulscape.
Yes, beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a lovely idea.
Yeah. Walking through his garden, seeing through his eyes would be.
Excellent. Lovely. Now, for the next 5 days, I'm going to join you and we're going to go out to a pop or rock concert on Monday, a theatre play on Tuesday, a musical on Wednesday. I think I already know which one that will be. An opera on Thursday and a film on Friday. So what pop or rock concert would you like to go to? I think I know where this is going as well.
So anyone who's playing at that time, I would go classical rock. In fact, in the recent years, there's this band, Greta Van Fleet. I like their music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or U2 live in Monaco?
Yeah, any day.
There. What about a theatre play for Tuesday?
Theater play, I have never been to a single any theater plays in my life, so I would let you decide that.
Ah, that's a great opportunity. I think it would have to be Shakespeare.
Oh, I would like, yeah,
Yeah. And I think Romeo and Juliet would be great. So
love to see that.
I think more people have seen West Side Story than they have seen Romeo and Juliet, but that's great. Yes, we'll do that one. Musical, we've already decided it's The Lion
Mhm.
King. We get the VIP treatment, backstage pass, we get to try on the costumes, the whole thing.
Okay.
Are you an opera fan?
I have never been to one, so I cannot say whether will I like it, will I not like it? I don't know.
In which case we're going to go to Tosca by
Mhm.
Puccini,
Mhm.
which is one of my favorites. There is a video, it's on Apple TV, the wonderful film of it with
Mhm.
Antonio Papano conducting. It's great, really excellent. And then on Friday, a film. Do you have a favorite film?
I do have a favorite film, but when I say it openly, my children, my family have laughed at me so much. It's always been Pride and Prejudice.
Okay.
But if we have to see that, I don't know if that will play in the theaters, then yes, I would like to watch Pride and
Is that the
Prejudice.
TV series or the film?
The film.
The film. So that would
I've
be,
seen both, but the film is the shorter version is
yeah. Is that with what's her name? The
Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or we could always go for the Terminator.
I love the difference between the two. That's fantastic.
I do love the Terminator also. It's my
What's
favorite.
the name of the Sarah?
Yes, I'll be black. I'll be
I'll
back.
be back. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
a cop, you idiot. Yes. Brilliant. We're nearly there.
Okay.
So tomorrow I'm going to book a restaurant for you in Monaco. And you can invite any one person for a 2-hour leisurely lunch. They can be living or not, famous or not. You can invite anyone you like and they will come. Who would you like to invite to lunch?
I would go for lunch with my best friend. She lives in the UK since almost 30 years now. I haven't
Mm,
met her in a long, long time.
what's her first name?
Roma.
Roma.
Yes.
And in a slight twist,
Mm-hmm.
given that you know Roma very well,
Mm-hmm.
who do you think she would like to have lunch with you?
She would get her husband.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like this. This is more family and friends than famous, you know.
Yeah.
So excellent. Now we're nearly there.
Mm-hmm.
You're back on the plane. The book's been written. You've done the book. You've
Mm-hmm.
recorded the TV show. You've prepared for the TED Talk. You're going to be touring Asia, Europe, and America, doing your lecture tour.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be highly paid for that as well. And um, you're on the way home now,
Okay.
back to Germany on the plane. And the steward comes to you with more coffee and says, I have a note from you from the Family Foundation, who are writing to thank you for all your hard work. And they've said that you can now listen to things other than classic rock.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first piece of music you'd like to listen to that's not classic rock?
When I'm painting, especially when I'm painting, there's this, he's a pianist. I think he's from Italy. His name is Ludovico, and I don't know how to pronounce his second name.
Einaudi?
Yes,
Einaudi?
yes.
Yeah.
So his song Nouveau Bianchi.
Mm,
I mean, I put it on repeat. I don't know why it appeals to me, but I just put it on repeat all the time.
that's great.
Yeah,
Well, there you are, Sidrah. That's your fantasy cultural year
it
complete.
sounds.
It's been a huge success. Did you enjoy it?
Oh yes, because it is a fantasy. What you
Yeah,
described is
isn't
an
it?
absolute fantasy.
It is. So excellent. Thank you so much for doing this. It's given
Thank
us a chance to get to know you better, which is lovely. Wherever this appears, there'll be links to your work and examples of your work. So please don't rush off. But for the time being, Sidrah, thank you so much for being a full member and for sharing your fantasy cultural year with us today.
Thank you, Mark. And I honestly, I look forward to seeing what's your favorite painting. That at least one or two that you'll pick. I'm really looking forward to it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Mark. Thank you so much.